Like right now, for example. So I have been asked for a very long time to do this type of franchise mode again. You guys already know from the chat side of things, it's going to be rules heavy. You just don't know who we're using yet. Although if I put this out on YouTube, they'll know. So there won't be any drama to this, but who cares? So in terms of a rule heavy series, I went back to what we had done with the Carolina Hurricanes in NHL 19. I think 19. And I will quickly kind of showcase to you guys what we had going on back in those days. Bunch of different rules. General rules, draft rules, trade rules, free agency, re-sign phase, so on and so forth. The general rules for the chat, or for the deal, chat, so you can see this. For the most part, it's, yeah, morale on, injuries on, fog of war is on, except for player rule, because that's a bit important for us. Owner mode's going to be off, but you guys are going to be deciding a challenge for me every single season, with a punishment to also be decided by you should we fail that particular goal. And the key thing to this is that players will not be able to be played within their listed role. If they are a second liner, they cannot be played as a third liner, but they can be played as a first. You get it? Got it? Cool. There are limits on what we can do in terms of the draft. We are not allowed to pick horde. We are not allowed to have more than 2 picks in the same round. We are not allowed to scroll down, up and down the list all the time to make sure we get all the best players. We can only trade up once, can only trade down once, and we have to pick at least 1 player of each position, and we get a free pick as well. Technically, 2 free picks if you think about it. Although we could try to take a lefty and a righty. Trade rules comes down to this. Don't abuse the shit out of the AI because they're very easy to be abused. And in free agency, certain rules like that as well. We're not allowed to totally destroy the AI in negotiations. We have to be smart about who we're going to negotiate with versus who we're going to let go. No movement clauses, no trade clauses will be factored in as well. And we will be inheriting any and all no movements and no trades in terms of, whatever team we pick here is what we'll be doing. Now, in terms of the team, and if you guys have any suggestions, once we get to that point, I am more than willing to add to said rules. I am. Now, I thought about this. I thought about this a lot in regards to what is the team that we want to use, to the point that I went through the YouTube back catalog and wanted to look at who I've done a franchise mode with. And essentially, I looked, and I also looked at teams that simply wouldn't be interesting. The Vegas Golden Knights, for example, just won the Stanley Cup. They're not interesting. Toronto, we just used them. Tampa, 2 cups recently. The Avalanche just won it. We just used Chicago. So teams like that, yeah, no, we're not going to use. So then we kind of sorted it into teams that have won somewhat recently, which would be the likes of Washington, who shockingly, I've never used Washington in a franchise mode. We did use them as the hosts for the first ever Draft to Glory series in NHL 17, but I've never used Washington. There were teams like the St. Louis Blues that I've never used before, as Coco drops the 1,500 yen on a pinned comment. Coco, you handsome devil. I love you. How are you? I hope you're doing very, very well. You guys get the gist. We sorted by haven't won in a long time, somewhat recent wins, never won. Cross-reference that with when is the last time I used that team in a franchise mode. And you had teams that I haven't used in a very, very long time. A very long time. NHL 16 was the last time I used the New York Islanders, the Vancouver Canucks. NHL 17 was the last time I used the Columbus Blue Jackets or the Boston Bruins. Haven't used them. The New York Rangers, NHL 17. But there were a handful of teams that I've never used before. The previously mentioned Capitals, but again, not so interesting. The St. Louis Blues. Not as interesting because of a recent cup win. Did use them as the basis for, I think, the first ever Nations United Sweden edition. I believe they were the basis for that team, though. I have never used the Dallas Stars in a franchise mode. Are they super interesting to use right now? Not really, because they're stacked. Look at those top 3 players. They are absolutely stacked. I have never used the Minnesota Wild. I started to, but we didn't follow through with it. So I've never used the Minnesota Wild. Which leaves 2 real teams that I haven't used. Draftagory doesn't count for Calgary. That's fair, too. In my mind, though, it came down to 2 teams, one from the East and one from the West. And both of their jerseys are on that wall behind me. It comes down to the Philadelphia Flyers and the Nashville Predators. And given that both of these teams are looking into rebuilds, it's tough. I am very tempted to use Nashville because we don't use teams in the West all that often. And they have some big name players that we could still have to try to navigate seeing leave the team. Or there's Philadelphia, in which case, I mean, everyone knows we love memeing Philadelphia. We do. We do. So what's funny is I said that the people on the YouTube side of things would have known for the past 7 minutes now who we were going to pick. The thing is, as of this moment, I don't know who I'm going to pick because it's not up to me. Chad, it's going to be up to you. Are we going to be using the Philadelphia Flyers or the Nashville Predators? If the poll has not popped up in chat for you, refresh. It should pop up. Let me know. Is it going to be Philly or is it going to be Nashville? And if it ends in a tie, I'm going to bed. So don't screw yourselves out of this. If it ends in a tie, I go to bed immediately. I will end this stream. Try me. Try me. I will end this stream if this ends in a tie, and I'll see you all tomorrow. So think long and hard about whether or not you want to troll this poll. You troll every other poll. Let this be the one that you don't troll. Because in this particular series, you guys are going to have to make some tough decisions, and trolling just screws yourselves out of these important decisions. So this is your chance to prove that you can be trusted to make important decisions throughout the course of this franchise mode. If you fail this first test, then maybe we don't do it at all. Maybe we don't do it at all. If you fail this first test, I don't know if you can be trusted. This is me trusting you to make the right decision. Can you make the right decision? That is the question. Ivory, fantastic. It was live. It was live. It was fantastic. And look, I'm just focused on the fact that chat's going to tie this, okay? That's all. I can't English right now. I can't English most of the time. Let's see what chat does. Why not? Blood treats us like fourth graders. That's because I know better. That's because I know better. Given that there is currently a 1 vote difference with about 15 seconds left, tops, in this vote, I will end this. I will. If this ends in a tie, I will go to bed. I'll do it. It's coming down to the final few seconds. A volley of votes for your winners. The Nashville Predators. We're going to take, as a certain Ducks fan in chat likes to say, these piss-colored hicks to the promised land or fail spectacularly in the process. Time will tell us. You got to look here at the overalls, obviously. We're not the worst team in the world, right? We're not the worst team in the world to start off with, but it is quite clear we are going to be looking to tear this team down that much more so. It is our only real choice. That said, there are not too many players that factor into our no movement, no trade clause conversation. It is just Philip Forsberg, Roman Josi, and Ryan McDonough. So we do still have quite a few options in terms of how we want to continue to kind of tear down this team and try to build back up. So we'll see what we're dealing with. And again, the rosters are fully up to date as of the 21st of July. I waited as long as I possibly could for Eric goddamn Carlson to get traded, and he didn't, so damn it. Damn it. But hey, it's fine, and we will do what we have to do, right? We will. So, again, owner mode's going to be off, but you guys are going to kind of do a similar thing in deciding what we are able to do and how we handle that. Herms, what's going on? Please, God, don't come from my wallet. Please don't. Salary cap's going to be on. That's going to be on. Fog of War is going to be on. Morale's going to be on. God help me. Computer trades are going to be off for season 1, so we can get to the first off season and try to have it be as similar to real life as possible. Again, it is about making this mode as challenging as we can. Is it Herms? Well, I'm tempted. I am tempted. Let me tell you, morale's the worst, isn't it? That's why we're on it. Got back from my Barbie Oppenheimer double feature. Well, now you have to let me know how it is, as I am very tempted to see both. I did not mean to go to accessibility. I did not. I did not. All right, so auto staff management, no. Scouting, show potential, no. Show player role. That is the one that we are going to have on by default. Everything else does have to be scouted, which, oof. Trade difficulty goes to hard, because, of course, I like Barbie a bit better. I'm actually probably going to see that within the next week. I'm excited for it. So, waivers, of course, will be... actually, we'll turn off waivers for Season 1 as well, probably. Maybe? I think I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to turn that back on, so it should be fine. The salary cap's good. Draft pick ownership's going to be on authentic because it's all that we can do. Herms, hope you have one to stream. Want to stop my session. Herms, I love you too. Thank you for the 19 months, and thank you for always looking out for me and the old jersey collection that I simply can't justify adding to right now, at the very least. All right, it looks like we are good. And gosh darn, injuries are going to be on. Oof. Okay. All right. Advanced settings really quickly. Retired justify morale meetings are going to be on. I hate it, but they're going to be on. Blockbuster trade alerts, that's fine. Waiver notifications, that's fine. Trade offer notifications, I'm going to turn off because, again, never worried about the AI, that or the head coach firing. We're going to go medium for shots and scoring, but draft class quality will be put to low for the first 4 or 5 seasons. If not, we'll probably just keep it there the whole time. I really don't mind. I really don't. Just to let the real players actually mean that much more. And then for ye old sliders, attribute effect will be up to 10. The injury occurrence will be down to about 21. 21? 24, because it's a good number. Who's the most obscure NHLer I can think of? Nat Domincelli. Him. Yeah. Attribute effects matter. They do. Shockingly. Shockingly. Season 1. Season 1. Obviously, there will not be too many changes to the team, given that we are trying to replicate the deal. You just said sounds. There's no way that's a name. It's true. Buck, thank you for the 30 months on the primer. And shout out to the legend of the Atlanta Thrashers, Nat Domincelli. Legend. Real person. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. All right, let's just gotta double check a couple things really quickly. You guys know how the setup goes for something like this. It takes a little bit, but you know, that's okay. Everything is looking pretty good, though. Everything is looking pretty good. The injuries are on. Penalties are fine. Do X factors matter in the sim? Gigantically. X factors matter a lot. A lot. All right, and just to confirm, waivers can be turned back on later. Beautiful. 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 Actually, I am going to turn off morale meetings for the first season. Then we'll turn them on for our first real season, which is technically season 2. So, like I mentioned, we don't have too much to worry about to start in terms of inherited no movements or no trades. We do have Roman Josi, who has a full no movement clause. So Roman Josi will be going nowhere. Technically with a no movement clause, in terms of negotiations, it might not be the full length of a contract. But yeah, he's gonna be here. He's gonna be here for a long time. Damn, and we got to stay loyal for that full thing. Okay. Yeah, Roman Josi's going to be here for a really, really long time. And obviously, we'll take a look at the rest of the team here in a minute. It's really weird seeing this particular screen. But yeah, Roman Josi's amazing. But yeah, we have 6 years of Roman Josi. So that'll be fun. Ryan McDonough has a no trade clause. Just an outright no trade clause. Jesus. For this year, oh my God, for 3 years. Yikes. So technically, we could put Ryan McDonough in the minors. But I am not allowed to trade him unless he were to agree to be traded. Which, yeah. The only way I can really do that is if he's in the final year of that no trade clause. So, yeah, Ryan McDonough isn't going anywhere either. Oh, God. So 3 years with a no trade clause, and then the last year of his deal, he gets a 12-team no trade list, which would be the bottom 12 teams in the league. So he's going nowhere for a while. And then Philip Forsberg is our other player that we inherit with a no trade clause. Or, excuse me, an outright no move clause. Holy shit. All right. Cool. And that contract technically hasn't kicked in yet. It is an extension. It was the way we had to do it to get the years in. I don't know what I'm doing with my hand, but yeah, he's going nowhere. He takes on the cap hit of Matt Duchene, by the way. That's why his money goes up from the Duchene buyout, if not the Johansson retention. So that's not good at all. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of a no movement clause. So he's going nowhere. No movement clause until 2028, which switches to no movement clause with a 15-team no trade list for the final 2 years. So get used to seeing the lovely 21-month resub from Polly, by the way. Thank you for that. Get used to seeing Roman Josi, Ryan McDonough, and Philip Forsberg on this team for a very, very long time because they're going nowhere. Just to get you a glimpse of what this team is going to be, though, let's go ahead and see what we're going to be for this first season. I'm not going to partake in the free agent list for this first season. It will become fair game once we get to the free agent list after season 1. But UC Saros, Kevin Lankinen will be the goaltenders. Grosnick, Askarov, whatever you prefer in the AHL. We'll try our best to make sure he's the starter over Troy Grosnick. And who knows, maybe we'll trade him to Montreal for the 5th overall pick. Remember when that was a thing that was going to happen, and then it didn't? Paulie, I am doing phenomenally well. How are you? On defense, That's pretty... Oh, boy. Okay. Well, there's nothing I can do to start because I'm not allowed to make trades yet. But after next season, someone's got to go, and it can't be Yossi or McDonough because I have to play people within their roles. So them signing Luke Schenn hurts a lot because Lozon will be very tough to trade because he gets paid too much. Fabro probably gets paid too much. Carrier will have a new contract kicking in. So we'll probably only have one season of Tyson Barrie. Damn. Our second best defenseman. So that's good. In terms of the wing, and again, we have to do our best to play people in their proper position and proper role. So Michael McCarron is going to make this team because he is a fourth liner. Cole Smith is not, so we can send him down. Whoops. Do we have anybody else to call up in the AHL that absolutely has to be on the roster? No, we do not. So we do have, obviously, a fair amount of people that can be sent down. Would I consider doing something like someone uses channel points to choose a player to have an I'd be intrigued. I'd be intrigued. I am more than willing to use channel points. If you guys can come up with creative ways to use them, I'm more than willing to get you guys involved as much as possible. So, yeah, honestly, is Pyro still here? Is Pyro still here? We should add a section on the... I mean, not that I can't do it. We should add a section on the Discord to just have people... Yeah, I can just do that. I can just do that. Give me a second. Channel name. We'll go Preds Franchise Ideas. Beautiful. So I don't know where the hell it is. There it is. It's at the bottom of the general talk section on the Discord. Let me know your ideas, and we'll see what we might add to it. Go ahead. Do it. Do it now while I figure this out. Okay. All right. Actually, we should be okay. Ever four. Someone's going to play left wing. Could be Mark Jankowski. Could be Gurionov. We should be okay. Should be. Jasper Weatherby, you're not going to make this team. I hate to tell you. We should be okay. I mean, this team is going to be bad. Don't get me wrong. But in terms of trying to follow the rules right from the get-go, we're going to be fine. Luke Schenn probably won't make this team, though. Unless he does because... Well, he's got the contract that kicks in at the end of the first season. Yeah, I got no choice but to pretty much leave Luke Schenn as a scratch for season one because I cannot afford to tank Tyson Barrie's value. So yeah, Luke Schenn will be a reclamation project soon. We'll figure out the line. Actually, we can figure out the line combos right now. So Carrier Fabro pretty much with Ryan McDonough. We're going to leave the coaches as they are for now. Whew, that's a defense. That's a defense. And then for the forwards, it does leave out Mike McCarron, which we are not allowed to do. Let me double check who all the depth forwards are. And we'll see who makes this team and who doesn't. So obviously Philip Tomasino is going to make this team. Juuso Parssinen has to make this team. Cody Glass has to make this team. So it does come down to Mark Jankowski or Dennis Gurionov. We do have full accuracy on Jankowski. I mean, he's okay defensively. That's about it. Doesn't bring much physicality. Gurionov brings a little bit more offense, but not a ton. He's a good skater. Injuries are on, yeah. Yeah, it's probably going to be Gurionov that stays. So we'll have McCarron in. Probably on the fourth line. We got... Oh, God, we got Kiefer Sherwood, too, and they are both relatively physical. I mean, McCarron is a grinder as well. Indeed, AJ, indeed. Got Nyquist on the right. Let's get Gurionov on the right. Those are the three right wings. We got to run Parssinen and Novak at center, which is a problem. Right, so Gurionov, you get to play the left wing. Nyquist will also get to play the left wing. 4 guys that can only play center. Now, can I make this work? I think I can. With Forsberg, Nyquist, Trenin, and Gurionov on the left, that right wing side is going to be dreadful. But Tomasino will be on the top line. Sissons pretty much has to be on the second line. And then it's between Sherwood and McCarron for who plays on the lower line. And Sherwood's better for the third line, I think. So we might as well just leave him there. And third liner there. Parsonen's a depth. O'Reilly's a second liner. It's going to be Cody Glass or Juuso Parssinen for the fourth line. And given that we really want Juuso Parssinen to improve and Cody Glass probably won't by that much, I think we have our answer. O'Reilly's allowed to be played on the second line. Novak on the third. So, I mean, technically, we could go with that setup there. Or we try, with every fiber of our being, to get Juuso Parssinen to develop as a better player at 21 years old in the low elite. So we will probably put him with Philip Forsberg and Phil Tomasino. That is our team for Season 1. I'm not allowed to really do much until we get to the first off season in terms of improving the team. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, that's what we're starting with. Well, Luke Shen and Mark Jankowski as the healthy scratches. Obviously, UC Saros is in goal. We'll have to make a decision about what we're going to do with him. Right? Like, we have him for 3 years. Do we look at trading him sooner rather than later, or is he our guy? That I'm not sure. And obviously, we're going to have to optimize the AHL. I'm going to do that here in a second, but not the most intriguing option. But there you go. Base level. It's rules heavy, and it's going to be a nightmare.